Well, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Investigators in Cars, Drinking Coffee. We're your hosts, Mark and Wendy Mernan from Complete Legal Investigations, Inc.
Good afternoon.
And Wendy, let me ask you this. What do you think is the number one weapon used in crimes against the elderly?
Against the elderly, wow.
Crimes against the elderly. Is it a knife?
I don't think so. I hope not.
A gun?
Oh my, I hope not.
I hope not. No? No, the number one weapon in crimes against the elderly, put your coffee down, the number is, drum roll,
checkbook, pen, and a credit card.
That is the number one weapon used in financial crimes
Yeah.
used against the elderly. Far more common than muggings, robberies, break-ins, anything else. Is simply the financial exploitation of the elderly by people who are tasked with taking care of them.
Did you put those away?
I did.
Okay.
I don't want to get pulled over with an orange training gun.
Yes, okay.
It's actually a safety. It's a training knife. It's not a real knife as well. But
put them in the back, please.
they're in the back.
Okay.
But in cases that we've had involving crimes against the elderly, it's usually financial exploitation.
Yep.
There are occasions of physical abuse, and those are horrific as well. But oftentimes,
those usually go through the police department.
Through the police
state
department,
attorney,
yeah.
They have a whole department for that. Yeah.
But when we get cases of financial exploitation, it's usually brought to us by a family member or an attorney who suspects that their loved one, their elderly parent,
Usually children.
Tasked with watching their parents or in charge of their parents, are concerned about financial exploitation, stealing money from the elderly.
Very valid concern, as we have found.
So this case file is called the Crafty Caretaker, and this has to do with a case we worked several years ago. Very wealthy woman, widowed, quite elderly, living in a very exclusive development.
Right. Daughters
out of state. Who hired a local lawyer. We were retained to conduct an investigation, and we found ample evidence by going through the bank records of all kinds of financial misdealings.
Yes.
ATM withdrawals being predominant, lots of cash being withdrawn.
Lots of cash,
Also the use of a vehicle that was purchased and the use of a credit card in all kinds of places where the woman was too old to go.
Right.
Was she was spending money where?
I don't remember.
You remember casino?
Oh yes. They were taking her to the casino.
Well, I don't think they were taking her.
They weren't?
They were just at the casino and at the racetrack.
Oh my.
Yeah, down in Aventura. Yeah, it was.
She had two caretakers.
But
one was the perpetrator. And
and we actually interviewed the other.
Yep.
And kind of alerted us as to what was going on.
So what did you do what did we do to kind of establish the behaviors? It was interesting because they did call the police. The daughters called the police. The police did an investigation and they found no wrongdoing. So that by that point we got the case.
And we got the case after that to reevaluate it. But unfortunately, at one point, our client, the daughter of the victim, had already kind
exonerated them.
Because she was at a distance and didn't have personal knowledge that she came across later on.
Yeah.
However, it was still evaluated by law enforcement, and under different circumstances, there probably would have been charges filed.
Yeah.
Every few weeks down here, particularly in South Florida, there's a headline about a caretaker who's charged with financial exploitation of his or her ward. The whole guardianship system here in South Florida, probably nationwide, is under examination as well.
Yeah.
And we have other cases. We'll talk about another one, the amorous assistant, where in this instance it was a man that was victimized. But we'll do that on another episode.
What are some of the things that we did on this case to uncover some of the wrongdoing?
Well, the first thing is that we had access to the bank statements and the credit card statements.
Right, that was a biggie.
And that provided us with most of the information that we needed.
Then I did a background on her just to see if she had any history of this. We got police reports.
Yeah.
We also wanted to know,
there was a previous incident
had
that we
she
uncovered.
made some big purchases. I did some research on that, and she really had not made any big purchases until
but there was a home loan. Remember that? She made some improvements to her home.
Yes, that's right. And then we found the gambling.
Yeah.
And also, you talked to some witnesses, some friends. This woman, and what did they verify for you?
Well, they verified a diagnosis of early onset of dementia.
Yes, we ordered medical records.
Symptoms of Alzheimer's. We had her complete medical records, which indicated a diminished mental capacity, which was part of what a prosecutor looks in order to make a charge of financial exploitation.
So, what do you do if you have elderly parents and you need a caretaker?
Well, the most important thing is you need to stay in touch.
Yep.
You simply need to be communicating
You've
to
got to be monitoring what's going on.
your elderly parent, whether a father or mother, elderly couples, because they do, as they age, their trust level probably is disproportionate to.
They become like children, and they're
and to a
just
certain
grateful.
degree.
So I think
They're grateful for someone to take care, and the
Yeah.
children are grateful that there is a caretaker on the scene.
You've got to be their advocate, and
have
you've
to-
got to audit the money. Where is the money going?
Yeah,
So,
there's an old adage in the private eye world: it's follow the money.
yeah, you don't want your parent to be deceased and your whole estate inheritance is gone.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
that's
there's a
what you're
self-interest there
avoiding.
if
Yeah.
you're if you have an elderly
A good
parent.
one.
But there's also the compassion that we each of us have for our parents
Right.
to watch out for them and watch out for their best interests. So
So-
keep a wary eye. Trust but verify. I think
Yes.
that's always something that we want to be doing. Follow the money, trust but verify. Do a background on the caretaker. Many caretakers do a wonderful job. We rely on them because they're honest. But there is occasion where a dishonest caretaker can do havoc to a parent's
Yes.
financial well-being and their long-term mental and physical health.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
hopefully that was helpful.
Hopefully that was helpful. We'll
Yeah.
come back next time with the amorous assistant, which I think was a great
yeah,
story
that
as
was-
well.
that was a little more
a
drama.
little more drama, a little
Yeah,
sadder. But
yeah.
these are important issues we're happy to address with you. So in the meantime, click on that subscribe button down at the bottom of Investigators in Cars Drinking Coffee. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.
Thank you.